Out and About TV. Travel, adventure, and RVs. Join Sharon and Tom each week as they travel America in a 30-foot trailer exploring and living the RV lifestyle. From trip and product reviews to RV show reports and an unfiltered look at life on the road. This is the show for you. Welcome.
Great little sail away, rooms to let 50 cents. Remember that old guy, Roger Miller? King of the road. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, it's Tom McAuliffe. And welcome, thanks for stopping by here at Out and About. Sharon is off on assignment, and I have been growing a beard for the first time in my life, so I'm going to surprise her when she gets back. She's in Paris right now, and I'm missing her. Lots to cover this week. Sad days in RV land. The February sale numbers were the worst in history. We're going to talk about that in the RV news section. The RV Industry Association talking about requiring tire pressure monitor systems. We'll talk about that. We're going to talk about gas prices. And most of all, I want to thank you for coming by. We had an episode just a week or so ago, had 56 viewers. And we have people subscribing and liking what we're doing. And we really appreciate it. And we'd like to hear your ideas, your comments, your criticisms. Just send us an email, and we'll respond to everyone. And everybody that writes gets a free, a free Out and About sticker. Ooh. And so we're going to talk about some interesting stuff this week. We've got a trip report where you're going to actually sleep with the fishes. No, I'm not talking about two guys in Chicago. I'm talking about something else again, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're also going to talk a little bit about politics, and this is a politics and religion-free zone, but we've got to talk about politics as they relate to the RV community, and in particular, our public and recreational lands. So we're going to talk a little bit about that in our safety section, and like that, and we're looking forward to your ideas, your thoughts, and comments and suggestions. Let's take it away. Buckle up, and away we go.
At Out and About TV, we've done the legwork for you, watching, analyzing, and curating the top RV YouTube channels that cover everything from trailers and fifth wheels to vans and mobile homes. Whether you're a full-time RVer, a weekend warrior, or just a RV curious wannabe, we will help you find the very best channels and provide some unique content of our own. Channels that entertain, educate, and inspire with hosts that have the heart of a teacher. These RV YouTubers have turned their passion into full-time careers, influencing the RV community and even shaping industry trends. Stop by and we will examine what these channels are covering. And it is more than just entertainment. Just consider Out and About your personal digital campfire. For all things RV.
Welcome to the Out and About YouTube RV Broadcast Roundup, where we highlight the best of the best in RV and camping shows and information on YouTube. One of the most popular RV channels is a weekly broadcast called RV Miles, hosted by Jason and Abby Everson. Primarily a news channel, it is slick and professional, covering many stories that other sites miss. RV Miles began in 2016 when Jason and Abby, along with their 3 boys, set out to explore North America together. What started as a family adventure in a converted school bus soon grew into something more as they began sharing their experiences from the road and love of the RV lifestyle through the RV Miles podcast. Over time, their journey evolved through several RVs, from the school bus to a travel trailer, then a 5th wheel. As their travels continued, Jason and Abby shared campground experiences, practical RV advice, and their real-life ups and downs as a traveling full-time family. In 2018, Jason and Abby branched out and launched America's National Parks Podcast, a storytelling podcast centered on the 420-plus sites managed by the National Park Service. This highly celebrated and popular podcast continues today, but it has been rebranded as Parkography, and now it includes a YouTube channel. In 2020, RV Miles expanded to include weekly coverage of RV and camping news, helping travelers stay informed about the RV industry, national parks, campgrounds, and outdoor recreation. Then in 2023, the family embarked on one of their most ambitious adventures yet, traveling from Baja, Mexico, all the way to Alaska in an Ibex 20 BHS over the course of 6 months. Years of full-time RV and camping experience eventually led to a collaboration with Sabre RV, where Jason and Abby helped design the Sabre 37 RV Miles, a 43-foot 5th wheel created with the needs of modern RV travelers in mind. Fostering a growing community always includes special events. The annual RV Miles Homecoming Rally returns in 2026 and will take place in Amana, Iowa, October 7th through the 11th, 2026. Attendees can join Jason, Abby, and fellow RVs at the homecoming event, which will be filled with community, food, fun, and the joys of RV camaraderie. Together, attendees will enjoy the simple comforts. Tickets are on sale now, but space is very limited with only 100 sites available. The RV Miles show has become a trusted source of timely information with a community focus on RV and camping coverage. Their national park advocacy should also be applauded. With broadcasts showing no signs of slowing down, it is hoped that they will continue to benefit RVers of all persuasions for years to come. You can view the regular broadcast at rvmiles.com on YouTube and visit their very active Facebook page. Join us next time as we continue to highlight the very best in RV and outdoor content creators. I'm Hope for Out and About TV. Thanks for listening.
From the sea, from the air, from the land, the latest in news and perspectives.
Time now for news. I'm Tom McAuliffe, and let's catch you up on stuff that's happening right now in the RV and camping worlds. And as always, we're going to keep this real, practical, and focused on what actually matters to you out there on the road. News you can use. What a concept. Leading off this time around, RV sales take a major hit. The numbers are in from around the RV industry for February, and RV sales were down 24%. It's the largest year-over-year drop in history, and one of the largest in history. And it sounds dramatic, and it is, but let's unpack what's really going on. You look at a combination of higher interest rates, rising RV prices, rising fuel costs, and some hesitation from buyers who jumped into the market during the COVID boom. The war is also not helping. A lot of folks bought rates during those peak COVID years, and now the market is catching its breath. Some would say coming back to reality. Industry analysts are also calling this a simple market correction. After record-breaking sales from 2020 through 2022, things are simply cooling off a bit, and there's nothing to panic about. Meanwhile, dealerships are carrying multi-million-dollar inventories. And now here's the part that matters to you the most. For buyers, this could actually be good news. We're starting to see more inventory to choose from on dealer lots, less of that take it or leave it pricing ideal, and in some cases, real negotiation coming back into play. And let's be honest, we haven't seen that in quite a while. For a long time, dealers were take it or leave it. If you don't buy it, the next guy will. So if you've been sitting on the sidelines waiting for the right moment, this might be it. Moving forward, the RVIA has some new safety ideas in mind. And they would like to require tire pressure monitoring systems on all towables in the very near future. In a move aimed at improving safety on the road, the RV Industry Association is now pushing this new standard. Beginning in 2027, travel trailers over 30 feet will be required to have a tire pressure monitoring system. And frankly, this makes a lot of sense. If you've been around RVs for any length of time, you already know that tire issues are one of the biggest problems out there and are a dangerous adherence to safety. We're talking blowouts, heat buildup, poor inflation, slow leaks, and you don't catch these until they're too late. And that's where a tire pressure monitoring system can make all the difference. And when something does go wrong with a trailer tire, as we all know, it can go wrong fast. These TPMS systems don't cost that much, and they monitor tire pressure in real time and alert you before a failure occurs. It gives you a chance to pull over before things get really expensive and really dangerous. And trust me, damage from a tire failure can run into the thousands of dollars pretty quickly. Now, the interesting thing here is that the industry is moving towards making this a standard. But a lot of experienced RVers are way ahead of the curve. So if you're towing today and not using a TPMS system, you might take a serious look at adding one. Cheap insurance. It's the one upgrade that pays for itself the very first time you need it. Elsewhere, there have been some campground changes with both closures and openings. Over in the campground world, we see a bit of a mixed bag. Some state park systems, particularly in the states of Washington and California, are facing budget-related campground closures or reduced services heading into the summer camping season. This can mean fewer available sites, shorter operating seasons, and limited amenities, And that's certainly something to keep in mind as you're planning your summer trips. At the same time, there is some good news. Other states are investing in outdoor recreation. We've covered, for example, Texas recently opening its first state park in over 25 years, which is a pretty big deal. There is a rumor that Michigan will soon be adding a new park by the end of the year near Jackson, Michigan. It tells us that demand is still there and states are recognizing the value of getting people outdoors in the outdoor tourism economy. So, as always, what does this mean for you? A couple of simple takeaways that we look at the news. Plan further ahead. Plan on spending more. Book early. And always have a backup plan. Because even with some new capacity coming online, availability is still tight in a lot of areas, especially during the peak summer season. And if you've ever pulled into a full campground after a long day on the road, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And of course, one of the most covered stories right now is gas prices. It's causing shifts in the summer travel plans for most people. Or let's talk about gas prices for a minute and how they're shaping summer travel plans. Not a pretty picture. Fuel prices have been, let's just say, unpredictable, but certainly more up than down. And RVers who perhaps hurt the most than other daily commuters are responding. We're seeing clear trends emerge. Total cancellations, shorter trips closer to home, longer stays once in place, and more regional travel rather than long hauls. People are still getting out there, but they're just being a little bit more strategic and conservative about it. And honestly, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Slowing down, staying longer, and really enjoying one destination can be a good thing. And that's kind of what this lifestyle is all about anyway, or at least I feel should be. So instead of racing across the country, a lot of folks are staying closer to home and saying, hey, let's pick a great spot and actually fully experience it. And that's a trend we may see to continue for quite a while. And as I say, that's not necessarily a bad thing. And finally, in news this time around, a quick but important heads up. If you're towing with an F-150 like we are, there's another Ford recall. Just got a letter, for example. Where is it? Right here. There's got a letter from Ford Motor talking about another recall. This one has to do with windshield wipers, either stopping working altogether or intermittently starting as you're driving down the road. This it's a major recall, but it affects only certain F-150 models. You would know that mine, of course, is one of them. And details vary depending on the model year and configuration. So this is one of those situations where you do not need to guess. You can go to Ford Motor and put in your VIN number, and it will tell you whether or not your vehicle is affected, or you can just call your dealer. If you own one, you can check your VIN, contact your dealer, and make sure everything is up to date before you hit the road. Because when you're towing, especially with an RV, everything is under load. And small issues can become big problems pretty quickly. So this is one of those better safe than sorry situations. Contact your dealer or check the Ford Motor website. And that's a look at what's happening right now in the RV and camping worlds. If you found this helpful, stick with us. We got more tips, reviews, interviews, and real-world RV life coming your way. I'm Tom with the perfect face for radio, and I'll see you out and about. Each week, we'll give you the very latest on news from the RV and camping industries. There are excursions, there are trips, and then there are dive trips. And there are experiences that change the way you see the world and the ocean forever. Welcome to Jules's Undersea Lab, located off the east coast of Florida near Key Largo and beneath the waters of Marineland's Undersea Park, the only place in the world where everyday divers can live, sleep, and work underwater. This isn't just a dive. This is your chance to become an aquanaut. Your journey begins at the surface with a full safety briefing, gear prep, and orientation. And then you slip beneath the water, descending into a quiet emerald lagoon, weightless, calm, focused, fishes all around. And ahead of you, something few people on Earth have ever seen or experienced, an underwater habitat. About 30 feet down, fully monitored 24/7 by a topside dive shack and personnel watching everything, making sure all the air is coming and the pressure is great. Ahead of you, you see coming out of the darkness the habitat. You don't enter through a door or a hatchway. You enter through an opening called a moon pool. You surface up, and there's a big opening, and you surface inside a living, breathing laboratory beneath the sea. And just like that, you're no longer a diver. Now you're an aquanaut. The habitat is left over from the United States Undersea Sea Lab program, which reached its peak during the 1960s and early 1970s. It was an ambitious effort by the United States Navy to explore whether humans could live and work on the ocean floor for extended periods. Led by ocean engineer George Bond, Sea Lab missions placed aquanauts in submerged habitats off the coast of Bermuda and California, where they conducted scientific experiments, tested saturation diving techniques, and proved that divers could remain at depth for days, weeks, and even months at a time without repeated decompression. These missions were groundbreaking, laying the foundation for modern commercial diving, offshore oil exploration, and even influencing astronaut training for NASA space missions. Though the program ended after a tragic accident during Sea Lab 3, its legacy lives on in today's underwater habitats and experiences like those that allow civilians like you and me to step into the role of an aquanaut, if only for a night or two. You surface in the moon pool, and inside this pressurized steel lab, the world changes. You'll learn the history and the technology behind the undersea habitat, how explorers, scientists, and pioneers have lived below the surface for decades. And then comes something even more unique. You settle in. This is your home now. You'll prepare some of your own meals and refreshments, but some meals are actually delivered by a scuba diver, and you'll see them come right by the porthole. You'll move freely through the habitat and experience what daily life is like at an atmosphere beneath the ocean's surface. As the sun fades above, you head back out, a dusk dive. The lagoon is transforming as darkness approaches. Creatures emerge that have been sleeping all day and are ready for the night. Behavior shifts. The undersea world becomes something entirely different at night, alive in ways that most divers don't get to see. You return to the habitat to eat, relax, and look out the portholes, and then you fall asleep underwater. No waves, no wind, no real sound except the quiet hum of life in a habitat beneath the sea. Morning comes differently down here, about 30 feet below the surface of the ocean. Light comes slowly and filters in, and you wake up in a place that few people on Earth ever have. The coffee is ready, but breakfast, like all full meals, are delivered via scuba diver, and then it's time to get to work. This is a working vacation, real aquanaut work, doing the research and documenting operations. You'll conduct documentation dives, explore the lagoon, record various aspects via notes, photos, and video, and even perhaps take on an underwater challenge, a mechanical puzzle designed to test your underwater awareness and skills. And just when you think it can't get any more surreal, lunch arrives. Hot pizza delivered underwater. Because at Jules Undersea Lab, even the impossible feels like simple routine. Eventually, it's time to return to real life. You make your ascent back to the surface, but you don't come back the same. Because now you've done something extraordinary. You've actually lived, slept, and worked underwater. You leave not just with memories and images, but with a new title, Aquanaut. This incredible experience includes everything you need: guided dives, safety briefings, meals, and full access to the habitat. And for those looking to take it one step further, you can even earn your PADI Aquanaut Specialty Certification. Now, there is one requirement. To live and work underwater, you must first know how to dive. All participants must be open water scuba certified, because this isn't a simulation. This is the real deal. While the habitat is monitored 24/7, like we've talked about, monitored from a topside dive shack, there are still dangers involved. Now, if you're short on time, you can still experience some of the magic by taking a just brief tour dive. You can sign up for a 3-hour guided tour that takes you through the lagoon and onboard the habitat itself. You'll be able to explore its history and its purpose, and yes, even bring your phone down for a once-in-a-lifetime photo. Over the years, the Jules Undersea Lab has hosted explorers, scientists, and more than a few famous faces. For example, Aerosmith singer Steven Tyler, Emmy Award-winning TV actor Tim Allen, and Canadian Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau, just to name a few. But the real story, the most important one, is yours. So if you've ever wondered what it's like to truly live and work beneath the ocean, to step beyond diving and into true exploration, this is your moment. This is your opportunity. Drop your gear in the moon pool, take a breath, and begin your new life underwater. And this is a perfect getaway before the hustle and bustle of Key West and the Keys. You can easily drop your your rig and book a site at one of the many awesome campgrounds in the Key Largo area. And here are just 3 of our favorites. For a true waterfront classic with a laid-back Key West vibe, scope out Key Largo Campground and Marina, campground with a K. This is probably your best all-around campground offering. Full hookup RV sites, including some waterfront spots. Old school Florida Keys feel with boats, docks, and lots of palm trees and tiki huts. It's right on the water with direct marina access, super close to other dive operators and the underwater habitat. This place screams, "We're diving tomorrow morning." Elsewhere, for resort-style comfort and polished, easy living, scope out Sun Outdoors Key Largo. If you want something a little bit more upscale and turnkey, this is it. Full hookups, Wi-Fi, amenities, private beach and marina, kayaking, planned activities, clean facilities, great for couples, great for longer stays. This is an easy campground. Pull in, plug in, and relax. Last but not least on our list is a real tropical diver hangout. It's super close to all the action and fairly priced. Book an RV site at Kings Camp RV Park and Marina. And camp is with a K. This one is a hidden gem with personality. They have waterfront sites right on Blackwater Sound, a laid-back tropical locals feel, kayaking, a small beach, and good shore fishing. It's close to dive charters heading to the reefs and to the world-famous Penny Camp Underwater Park. It all feels like you've stumbled into your own secret spot in the Keys. Sharon and I love it down here. Perhaps best of all is that all 3 of these campgrounds are within easy striking distance of Jules's undersea lab and habitat. You just park your rig, grab your gear, and tomorrow you're sleeping underwater. Mr. and Mrs. Aquanaut, we'll see you out and about and underwater. In general, this is a political and religion-free area, and we won't talk politics, but I think it's important that we do talk about and cover things that are occurring in our government at the federal and state levels as they affect RVing and camping communities and environments. They're our lands, they're public lands, and we care about them. We care about our public parks. We care about our national parks. And that's not political. That's us getting involved in decisions that affect us directly. And I think that's just being a good citizen. With major RV accidents a regular occurrence on America's highways, there is a growing call for something to be done. But what? Some say it's time for a mandatory RV driver training program via federal safety legislation. In the past 5 to 10 years, there has not been any major federal laws or serious legislative efforts specifically requiring training or special licensing for recreational vehicle drivers. While Congress has passed broader transportation and infrastructure safety laws, none have directly addressed the issue of RV driver safety, training, and certification, especially when piloting large motor coaches and triple axle trailers down the highway at 70 miles an hour. Most federal safety regulations are focused on commercial vehicles. Truck drivers, for example, are required to obtain a commercial driver's license, complete formal training, and comply with strict operational guidelines. Bus drivers are also required to have special certification. These regulations are overseen by agencies such as the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration and other government agencies. Recreational vehicles, however, are classified as personal use vehicles rather than commercial ones. Because of this classification, they fall outside the scope of most federal driver training requirements. As a result, there is no nationwide standard requiring RV owners to undergo any formal instruction before operating large motorhomes or towing heavy trailers on America's highways. You would think that at least a pamphlet, a short talk, a DVD covering driver safety? Nope, nada. There have been broader transportation bills in recent years, including major infrastructure legislation, but these have focused on general highway safety, funding, and new driver vehicle technologies rather than any RV-specific concerns. We're calling on Congress to hold hearings about this idea. Other safety-related proposals in Congress have targeted areas such as truck and advanced vehicle safety systems, but again, without anything addressing recreational vehicles. Some say the RV lobby on the Hill is very strong and keeps the lid on any legislation that might adversely affect the Indiana-based industry. Part of the problem is the fact that none of these agencies seem to keep track of RV-specific accidents or incidents. And so that's really the first step, is getting these agencies to document and record incidents that happen with recreational vehicles on America's highways. There is a significant gap and danger in our system. A person can legally purchase a motorhome that's 40 or 50 feet long, tow another vehicle behind that, and operate a combined unit weighing upwards of 30 to 40 tons. And in most states, this can be done without any kind of discussion whatsoever. No special training, no certification. And as an RV driver, also out on the highways and byways, I find that a little scary. I find it a little bit scary, and I think thousands of other RV drivers do too. By comparison, operating far smaller or less complex vehicles in other categories often requires significant additional training, qualifications, and licensing. Motorcycle riders, for example, frequently need a special endorsement. Commercial drivers must have completed extensive training. Yet RV drivers, despite operating vehicles much larger in size and more weight, are often not subject to any scrutiny whatsoever. And this doesn't mean that RV owners can't or don't operate their vehicles safely. Many do. Most do. However, it raises a legitimate question about whether some level of basic driver and towing training should be at least encouraged or required, particularly as RVs continue to grow in size, weight, and complexity. I feel the manufacturers of these large motor coaches and trailers the size of a Greyhound bus and allowing them onto Public roadways and highways with zero training should be a thing of the past. These manufacturers also bear some responsibility to their driver customers and the communities at large. And we call on these companies to lead the way towards better safety standards via new and more effective RV driver training. And if they will not do so, Uncle Sam and the RV community will help them see the light to accomplish this seemingly easy task. Currently, safety responsibility rests entirely with the individual driver. Buyers must educate themselves, and dealers, as standard practice, do not provide adequate guidance for driver safety at all. There's no additional national standard to ensure RV driver preparedness. When I asked one dealer about this, they showed a concern about liability. That if he was to give training to a driver and the driver was to get into trouble with the rig, that somehow the dealer would be liable in some fashion. As these vehicles become even larger and more capable of damage, the conversation about training and safety is likely to become even more important, more animated, and more prevalent. The question is not whether people should be allowed to own these vehicles. Let's be clear about that. This is America. But rather, the question is whether rig drivers should and could be better prepared before taking these large vehicles, the size of a Greyhound bus, down the highway at 70 miles an hour. A modicum of training seems to be reasonable, and perhaps that's why it's been a non-starter in Washington. As these ideas, proposals, and measures make their way through Congress, you should weigh in with your representative or senator. I realize that this opinion is not going to make me very popular with some, and while, as a general rule, I hate government regulation, this idea is something that can and will save lives by creating better rig drivers, and that's no small thing. I'm Tom McAuliffe, and I'll see you out and about. But don't forget to vote.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard on this Eurostar train to Paris North. This train will call at Antwerp Central and Brussels South. On behalf of your core team, I would like to wish you a very pleasant journey.
trailer for sale or rent. King of the road. Yeah, old Roger Miller. Hey, thanks so much for stopping by Out and About. I can't tell you how much Sharon and I appreciate it. We're your front row seat to today's RV lifestyles. Every week we break down the best trips, the best gear, and what's happening across the entire RV world. Think of us as your digital campfire. We watch the camping and RV shows, we follow the trends, and then bring you all of the highlights. And every time we'll also highlight an important YouTube RV channel. And if it's worth knowing about the outdoors, you'll find it right here. We hope you enjoyed the show. Our aim is to bring you timely and actionable information to help make your trips even better. We'd also like to know your thoughts, so please send us an email. Let us know what you'd like to see on the show, what you like, what you don't like, and send us a picture of your rig. We'd love to see your travel trailer or your motorhome. Or please stop by our Facebook page. Boy, our Facebook page has really been taken off. People coming by there and talking and building the tribe, as it were. So stop by our Facebook page and introduce yourself, and we'd appreciate it if you'd let us know what you'd like to see and cover. Please like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Out and About TV, we cover the content creators. You be safe, you be happy, and we'll see you out and about.